Alrighty guys, welcome back to the channel. Today's video is going to be something a little different. We're not going to work on the dump truck. We're not going to work on the S10s. We got something else going on. So it's going to be on my daily driver. Kind of locked the keys in the car last night. Didn't want to call roadside. It was super late. Ran home, grabbed some tools. Was going to get it open myself. That ended up being a failed mission because I didn't have the right size bar with me to open the door, and may have caused some damage to the inside of the door. Yeah, so as you guys can see, what I was using to kind of wedge this door open a little bit, kind of dug in. Not very happy about that, but we're going to see what we can't do today. See if we can't get those pulled out, smoothed over. If we need to throw some body fill water on there, we will. And get it repainted hopefully by the end of the day. At least to a point where we can get it painted tomorrow night. It's a very cool day here today. We actually had our first frost of the year. So I'm gonna try to, hopefully as the day goes on here, it'll start to warm up and temps will be a little bit better for spraying. If not, we'll just let this thing sit for a couple hours and it should be fine. So let's jump into trying to get this thing fixed. First thing we're gonna work on is getting this window trim out of here. That way we can access these spots fairly well without having to worry about messing up our door seals. Sit those there. I think now we've got pretty good access to where that damage is at, and that's gonna be really fun to fix. But I think we're gonna turn on the compressor here. See if we can't get our die grinder out and clean all this up. Run all this all the way down to bare metal. We'll get our stud gun. And we'll do some light pulls here and there. Try to get all this to come back up, and then we'll might have to run a little bit of body filler over some of these spots, smooth them back out, sand them down, and then I've got some essentially spray paint, but it's automotive, mixed today for this paint code. And we'll get at getting this thing painted up. Hopefully do a halfway decent job. All right, we got our sanding disc on here. Our air compressor running. If you guys hear that air compressor cut on, it sounds sad right now. It is, yeah, the belt's slipping pretty bad. I gotta put a new one on there. But yeah, this is gonna hurt my soul a little bit. But it's what we need to do to fix it. So we're gonna go ahead and grind these spots out where I've made nicks and whatnot in there. That we can get a stud gun in there and actually pull those back out and see if we can't get this metal to go back where it's supposed to go. Fixed, or all that ground down. Now it's just time to see if we can't, that one's a little bit tricky. We'll probably take a piece of sandpaper in there on its own and try to worm it in there to get that cleaned out. Same with that little spot there. This one here cleaned out pretty good, and this one cleaned out really well. These are just where those dents are, and the way that they are, just can't get a disc down in there. We're gonna bust out our super heavy duty welding blanket here and drape this over the inside of the door, the interior side here. That way, in this case, this thing does want to spark whatnot, doesn't go into my car and burn my car up. I'm gonna find something else as well to drape right here. I think I've got some paper around here somewhere that we can at least throw up here. That way it doesn't try to catch my stuff on fire, because I've done enough dumb stuff for one day. We got our some ram board in place. We've got our welding blanket in place, which needs to be touched up a little bit. That should keep anything from jumping inside the car while burning my door panel up. Now it's time to throw some studs in here and do some light pulls while we're tapping on this door so we can get as much of this out as possible. I know it's going to be kind of hard because I'm pretty sure that this is some structural steel in here, so it's not going to be an easy task. At least I don't think it is. It might be. So fingers crossed that it is. Alright guys, we got some studs in there. So let's start with probably the easiest one here. It's this one right here. I definitely felt that pull up. It looks fairly decent, so probably cut that one off and grind it down, see how it looks. Still got a little bit of a low there, but it's not bad. So take our shot at the worst one here. I definitely pulled out a good little bit there. Try to get that one off and move over down and into that pocket a little bit. That one might actually pull right out. Woo. That one moved quite a bit on one pull. I like that. Looked pretty decent on that one too. Let's get these cut off and ground down. got to a point where we can start putting a little bit of Bondo on it, if you will, or filler. This is a spot putty here. Doesn't require a catalyst or any of that stuff. Makes it kind of nice because I don't have to mix up a big batch of something just to do a couple little small spots. Stuff sets up super quick, guys. I didn't realize how quick that would set up. It's the first time using it. The lady at the paint warehouse recommended it, and so far I'm digging it. Well, alright guys, after a few hours, if I'm honest, of reapplying that putty and sanding it back off, and reapplying and sanding it back off, I think we finally got it good enough for me. It's still not perfect. I still got a low spot a little bit right there, but I think we're just gonna run with it. We'll put some primer on it, see how it comes out. Definitely not perfect, but 100 times better than what it was earlier this afternoon, that's for sure. So we're gonna let this flash off for probably, I don't know, 10-15 minutes, and then we'll come back with our all-in-one clear coat I don't know what you want to call it. I can't remember what they called it at the paint shop, but essentially it's got the clear and the color into it. You don't need a hardener with it. It's a pre-mixed can. It's supposed to be some pretty good stuff. That's it right there. We'll find out, I guess. It's not worth the darn going back, that's for sure, but I don't think I'll have that problem. They know this stuff a lot better than I do, that's for sure, and they're super awesome folks. Alrighty guys, so we just wiped down with some wax and grease remover. We're gonna hit this with a tack rag before we throw our color on. And then we'll be ready to paint. This right here will help. If there's anything left on there, any kind of dust or whatever else, it'll help get rid of it. Looks like we're pretty decent here, so. Yep, pretty solid. Alright guys, see if I cannot not mess this up. Hope not. Do a good light coat on the first one. We don't want to go super heavy. Do one shot on the back there. Let that flash for a few minutes, then we'll go back and hit with a second coat. Let that flash out for a few minutes, and then we'll hit with the third coat, and hopefully this turns out good. All right, guys, so it's been a few minutes. Hit it with a second coat. Oh yeah. Way better than what it was. That's for sure. You can definitely tell where I did some work, but it's better than the big craters that was in there before. That's without a doubt there. All right, guys, it's been about 5 to 10 minutes. We're gonna finish shaking this can. Throw another coat on. All right, guys, I think that last coat's gonna be the final coat. So we're gonna let this thing flash off and harden up. Probably come back out to the shop in about an hour or so. We'll check for, see how it looks. Put it back together. I think we're good to go. Paint's nice and hard. Doesn't look the greatest, but looks, like I've said a million times already, it looks way better than what it did. We can't show you guys a little bit better. I showed you guys where all the dents were along this at the beginning of the video. And it came out halfway decent. Like I said, there's still a couple of spots where you can kind of see what's going on there, but overall, job well done. And I won't be trying to fish my keys out of this car again. I'm just gonna call roadside assistance. But that's it for this video, guys. I appreciate you guys hanging out and watching. If you guys haven't already, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. We'll see you next time.